Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today I want to do something about Mario Kart 8. I want to put together what I think would be the ideal way of finishing off the entire Booster Course Pass by predicting and showing you what I want to see in the final wave, which is Wave 6. Now, this is just my predictions. I've just gone with tracks that I would particularly want to see. I've taken one track from each Mario Kart game, and essentially what we're going to do is I'm going to copy and plonk the pictures in for you guys, and we'll go from there. Now, I am going to use the first Mario Kart slot here on the Acorn Cup, and we're going to put a massive bit, we're going to put some wording here. We've got a brush, let's get a big brush. We're going to take black colour and we're going to write Tour, and that's because no doubt the first track in this first cup is going to be from Mario Kart Tour. Now, ideally there won't be any more of that. It probably will be, but I'm just going to pretend that there's going to be one Tour track. I looked up earlier, I think there's a Rome track, and then there's a couple of new tracks. Now the likelihood is they'll probably grab one of those new tracks and stick them in here, or it might be both those new tracks plus this final Tour track, so that means there'll be 3 slots taken up by tracks from Tour. But let's just for now pretend that isn't the case and start with the first track. And we're going to go through ordering games. This might not be the order they end up going out, but this is the order I've done it. So, first of all, we started with the SNES game, and I think there are 3 tracks from that game that would be viable candidates, that would be on the harder side. So Mario Circuit 4, Ghost Valley 3, and Bowser Castle 3. Now, after some deliberation on this, I actually have gone with, and I will grab a quick copy and paste. Hopefully this works how intended. Let's see if I can do that. Spoilers. Right. First level in there. Bowser Castle 3 from the SNES game. Why Bowser Castle 3? Well, because Bowser Castle 3, as you can see here, as you can see, there's incredible blending going on. You start off the track, where do you actually start here? Here. Start off the track, sort of tight corners, some jumps. You have a lot of jumps here that can lead to different gameplay. Very easy to knock people into lava. Then you have a small bit, and then this tight gameplay here. It's a manic track, and it's a fun one at that. I really like this track. I'd also take Bowser Castle 2, to be honest, but I think with these final 2 cups, you want the difficult tracks. You want the ones that are going to be the most interesting to play, really. And I think starting off, I've gone with this one here. So here we have Bowser's Castle 3. So following that up, N64. What tracks from the N64 game would I want to see? Now, personally, I'd really like Frappy Snowland. I love that level, but I think Frappy Snowland's a bit too easy for this point. I think we need something a bit more difficult. So that gave me 2 choices. So we had DK's Jungle Parkway, which I think a lot of people would like, and Banshee Boardwalk. And I decided that we were going to get, let's just snip that and paste that in. We're getting some Banshee Boardwalk. That's right, Banshee Boardwalk from the N64 game. Mainly because Banshee Boardwalk is actually one of the better tracks in the N64 game. It has a lot, it's more difficult. It's a lot of narrow pathways, which can lead to crazy amounts of items happening. You could be knocked off the track, and I think if I wasn't going to go with Ghost Valley 3, then it made sense to go with a Ghost style track here, because these 2 themes we don't see a lot of in the Booster Pass, and I would like to see more of it. And I think this one at least is in Tour, so it has a higher chance of coming over. But that's what I have decided. I think Banshee Boardwalk is a one that people would like. I do like the DK level, or at least think the DK level is kind of fun, but there are other DK levels I would prefer to see over it. So I felt like Banshee Boardwalk is a level I have played on and would probably go with. Alright, so we're gonna skip the Game Boy Advance, and the reason for that is we have a lot of Game Boy Advance levels. Likelihood is we will probably get a Game Boy Advance level, but I don't want to go down that road. I don't know the game well enough to be able to pick a stage from there and say, yes, this one. I don't like as many, like, I do like the stages they put into the Booster Pass. I just don't, yeah, it's not something I'm going to pull from. I don't know it well enough. So we're going to move to GameCube. Now, GameCube, there are a ton of tracks from the GameCube that I would have loved to see in this booster pass. So we had Mushroom Bridge, Mushroom City, two of my favourites. I don't think they're getting in. Then we have DK Mountain, which is an amazing level and 100% deserves to be here. Wario Coliseum, Dino Jungle, Bowser's Castle. Now, I think the most likely one to get in would be Dino Jungle. But I think what we actually need is Wario Coliseum. And this is one of 4 laps, so this is definitely a fake mock-up. Why Wario Coliseum? Wario Coliseum is one of the most fun levels they've ever made in a Mario Kart game. It is chaotic, it's very fast. It's only a 2-lapper in the original game. So, and I just really like it. I think it's a really fun track. It's long, which would be cool. It's like a decently long length one. I think they should definitely add a 3rd lap onto it. It's also, it is on the harder side. There's some really evil turns in it. This level worked really well with the large bananas, you know, big shells, all that sort of stuff. It's awesomely fun. They've got Waluigi Stadium in the game already. Give us Wario Coliseum from Double Dash. That track is so fun. And already, what I've tried to do here is pick the tracks on the later side in the game. The ones that I remember being a bit more on the tougher side and required a bit more skill. We're in the last 2 waves, like your last 2 cups. Let's get some hard tracks on the go. All right, moving on then. We come to the DS game. Now, the DS game has some incredible levels in it. So there are some levels I thought. We have Delfino Square, great level. DK Pass, also a great level. It's a Snow Mountain one, really, really fun. And Airship Fortress. And it might not come to surprise to many people, but Airship Fortress, definitely the one. Airship Fortress is an incredible level. It's a really, really fun themed level. You drive up through the castle and you go inside the ship. You go around the ship into the belly of the ship, fire up the cannon, back to the castle. And I think this was one of those tracks I feel like has to be in this booster pass because this is a really beloved track. I think a lot of people want to see it, and I know I definitely do. And I think, you know, I am being on the positive side. I'm thinking, oh, we're going to get 1 tour track in the final pass, and you know, we're going to get something from every game. I don't think that's the case, but we're just going to pretend it is. And we're going to stick in Airship Fortress, and I think Airship Fortress should be in the final here. It's an absolute classic. Right, following on then, what else do I want to see? So we move on to the Wii game. There's only really 1 track from the Wii game that I was thinking, you know what would be awesome? I did have to look this one up though, bear in mind. Bowser's Castle from the Wii, and I didn't remember this until I looked it up earlier. This track is incredible. This track is insanely cool for a Bowser's Castle level. It's somewhat similar to the new one. You have like a big Bowser that fires boulders and like things, and you've got like loads of different obstacles on the tracks. You've got fire geysers at the end. Awesome level. I'm shocked we haven't seen more Bowser's Castle tracks, to be honest, because some of them are really good. They're kind of up there with like Rainbow Road, you know, they're like known as some of the more difficult tracks in the game, and I think that's what we need. You know, okay, admittedly you've got 2 sort of Bowser-esque tracks, so maybe you put Airship Fortress in the first one. Maybe you put you switch Banshee Boardwalk and Airship Fortress, but I think, you know, Mario Kart's Wii Bowser's Castle is an awesome level, and honestly, it's just like, you know what, this is just a hell of a fun time. And I just wish they'd have more of them in there, really. Like, I just really like them. The GameCube one, that Bowser's Castle is also incredible. Would love to see that too. Alright, now, going on next, we have the 3DS game. So there's 3 levels from the 3DS game that I think are good candidates. We have Shy Guy Bazaar, Wario's Shipyard, Rosalia's Ice World. I am going to go with what I consider to be probably the most likely, and that is Shy Guy Bazaar, and that's purely based on the fact that this is a very unique theme, very like Middle East style level in terms of design, in terms of track. It's not the hardest track, but it's also a really good solid track. Wario Shipyard I think is also really, really good. And Rosalina Ice World is not one of my favourites, but I think it's quite difficult. So they all have their candidates for being there. But ultimately, I think Shy Guy Bazaar is very unique in terms of its design and style, and I think that would be a really good one. I think maybe you put it in the Acorn Cup. Maybe switch it out with one of these tracks over here, because I think it is a little bit easier than some of these others. But I think it is definitely a worthy addition, and I think, you know, it would be super hype if we get it in. So lastly, last slot. So this is going to be interesting because there's no one track that I want in this final slot, but I will find a picture of something that I would like to go in there. Just bear with me 1 second. So this picture kind of represents all the types of tracks that I want to be in this final slot. And that's a Rainbow Road. This course pass needs to finish on a Rainbow Road. Right, I specifically put the GameCube Rainbow Road in there because that's one of my favourites. But we have the Game Boy Advance Rainbow Road, we have the GameCube Rainbow Road, we have the Wii Rainbow Road, the DS Rainbow Road. None of those are in the game currently. This pack has to end on a Rainbow Road, or needs to be a brand new Rainbow Road specifically made for this game, which I don't think they're going to do, but they have done new tracks. And quite frankly, I want something in there, you know, to really finish it off. One of the Rainbow Roads. Rainbow Road is meant to be the hardest track type in all the Mario Kart games. Give us one of them. GameCube Rainbow Road, probably one of the hardest ones out of all of them. The Wii one is pretty decent. I'll take that as well. Game Boy Advance one I've never played on, but I think they could do some fun stuff with it. And the DS one always felt a little bit on the simpler side, but I still take it. I think the final slot should be given to, you know, the most memorable tracks in the game, and that being Rainbow Road. The only other thing that I would like to see possibly happen here is if they decide to put something brand new, like a brand new track that might be inspired by the next Mario Kart game, or something that's like Yoshi's Island, like based on Kirby or Metroid or something like that. But I'm not. That's like a whole nother set of ideas. But this to me is what I want from the final set of tracks. Now, to be honest, we might not get both Bowser's Castles. I think that is unlikely. I would prefer the Wii Bowser Castle, in which case then Mario Circuit 4 or Ghost Valley 3. I haven't really bothered with Choco Island or the Vanilla Lakes. They're just too short, those tracks, and I'm not that bothered by them. But give me like a proper karting level or something along the lines of one of the harder tracks. Awesome. Now realistically, I've written Tour there. We're probably going to get a Tour track, the final one of those, and then the 2 Piranha Plant tracks. Meaning that we're only going to get 4 or 5 tracks that aren't that. Which, you know, kind of sucks, I'm not going to lie. But I hope Nintendo just don't drop the ball with this final set of tracks. Give us things that we want. This is what I want. This is what I think would be a phenomenal way of finishing off. I mean, I'd love more of those other tracks on that list, but especially from the GameCube, from Double Dash, I want loads of levels from that. But Wario Coliseum, like, we just haven't had that since the GameCube days, I don't think. So yeah, there you go. That is my not predictions. That's my wish list of tracks that I want to see come to Wave 6 of the Booster Pass course. I'm no doubt people have their own tracks that they want to come and see. You know, there's probably tracks here that people think they're a bit rubbish, but this would be super hype for me if it was just the one tour track and finish off like that way. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. As always, if you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below in the description as always. And until next video, I will see you then.